All right, so a lot of the stuff that you're going to see in this video could be corrected, and we talked with him, and we had a good conversation about mobility, but a lot of this can be corrected with more mobility and flexibility in the hamstrings, the hips, where we're looking at a little bit of the hip flexor and stuff. So he comes up, loads really, really nice, but you'll notice that he doesn't really progress forward at all, right? Like he's right here. That's a bad line. So here, this is touching his rear end. And as he starts to drop that leg is like fully dropped. And you'll notice that he did not go very far at all, very forward down the mound, right? Didn't create any intent. He's just kind of sitting there expecting his front side, his glove, and his left leg to really create that momentum. So as he starts to go down, you'll notice that he's really, watch his front side. I'll kind of bring it back a little bit. You see how he's starting to kind of collapse on this leg. Okay, as he's starting to go down, his leg, because it's so tight, his groin area is so tight, he's actually looking for the ground right now on his front foot. You'll notice how it's wanting to grab the ground, but the ground is actually not there, just because of his short stride and how tight he is in his hips. And if we take a look at, let's take a look back at his back leg. Okay, he actually starts to push, right? He starts to launch. And how do we know that he's pushing? Because his back leg is straight. So he's actually launching himself up. But because of the angle, because of how high of an angle he is, if we look at that angle, okay, so he's give or take, right? So let's just call it 40. So he's at 40 degrees, right? Well, typically, what we really like pitchers to be is, we like those guys, that's a little off, sorry guys. We like pitchers to be in kind of the low 30s or the high 20s, because that means that they're driving towards, or be able to push towards the mound. If you're at too high of an angle, it's going to launch you up in the air. And so if we go a little bit farther, what you'll notice is, look at him going straight up with that chest, right? Because that's where his hip's launching him. It's launching him up in the air. And when he goes to throw the baseball, look at the release, right? Look how tall he is with the release. We want these hips actually to tilt down this far towards the front side, right? So his hips are actually, the belt is probably somewhere right around there, very squared up, okay? And like I said, a lot of this is just mobility, because you'll notice his hips and his chest, the Adidas logo, they're rotating at the exact same time, which, again, we had briefly talked about it, but having no hip to shoulder separation, they're both going at the same time, puts a lot of stress on that arm, because you're generating pretty much everything out of the arm. But again, going back to it, hip mobility, flexibility and stuff, stretching, as kids are growing so fast, right? Their muscles cannot adapt to how fast their bones are growing. They get super tight. So stretching will definitely help a lot of this.